Gang, gang. And we are back. Another episode of Against the Grain, man. Before we even get into it, man, everybody hold up them shirts real quick, man. No, man.
Against
We
the
three
Grizzly.
boys in. Y'all know how we doing, man. It's Against the Grain. I got the baby blue. Nick P got the all black. Bees got the black. And we got the evergreen over there in the corner. You feel me? Joined by my brothers, my lesser members, the others, as I like to call them. You know what I'm saying? It's DeAndre Branch and the Branchettes. You feel me? Hey, shut up. Everybody shut up. All right. All right, Nick, tell the people what they're going to be listening to today.
This nigga said the Branchettes. Oh, my gosh.
Hey, your knuckles, Ashy. Huh.
Whoa. So, basically, man, what we're going to be diving into, man, there's been a lot of chain of events going on over the past couple of days, but we're not really going to dive into that. But what I do want to highlight is I believe this is the perfect time for minorities to really get into corporate as well as high government places because there is now more of a focus on minority talent. And Dre, you and I we was having like a one-off conversation earlier today in which we was talking about some of those main skill sets needed to be able to penetrate the system and be successful. So you've accomplished a lot, considering, your background, where you come from, how you was raised. What's some of those skill sets that you contribute to where you are now being in higher education?
Yeah, interesting. Okay, cool. So I'm not a huge favor of the penetration to assimilate to the dominant culture model. However, I feel like you should do whatever you need to do to be self-sufficient. So what I've done is just being the person that I am, people naturally gravitate towards me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm the extreme bubble, extrovert, socialite. However, I'm a person of high integrity and high character.
Nobody likes you.
Sometimes rock with that. You said what?
Nobody likes you.
Everyone loves me. That is an accurate statement that no one likes me because everyone loves me. So with that being said, man, I mean, I think we need to kind of go away from the idea of like penetrating corporate is the making it, if you will, in the Black community. You know what I'm saying? I think more so finding your niche and attacking that. But to kind of go along with your question, the things that I've done is basically just working hard, being a person of high character, moral integrity, and just extreme, ambition and vigor. And I ain't even saying I made it yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm just reached the bag enough to where I could be self-sufficient and not needing for much. But
so, not to cut you off, I disagree with something you said, and I want to highlight it right quick. All right. So you said that you feel like we should not penetrate the system in order to have change, right? But when you look at some successful Black people that's done that, especially Stacey Abrams out of Georgia, she penetrated the system, she leveraged her skill sets and talents, and she made a profound impact in Georgia.
I was waiting for that one. Go ahead, though.
So, are you saying that she did not go the route needed to be able to help Black people long term? And if so, huh?
I said that's a subjective science. Go ahead, continue your thought, though.
No. I mean, because I'm just asking because we see a person in color that's in a high political position that's made a profound impact already. Dude, I mean, what's up, bro? Like, because you look like you don't agree with me.
So was Obama.
You said what?
So was Obama and Kamala Harris. We had a Black president. You know what I'm saying? Did he really mandate or change things for the Black community? Not the whole liberal party or the leftist wing. Were Black people positively, not even positively, intentionally impacted by having a person of color in that pristine position?
But with that, I will say, just one person, even if he was or wasn't trying to work towards the benefit of Black people, one person in a high power position isn't gonna change anything. Just one person. There needs to be a collective
president.
Okay. So what is the argument that y'all making then? Because y'all were just talking about infiltrating the system and making it, I guess, more progressive to Black people or whatever.
So my argument is that it's needed to penetrate the system so we can begin to see more Black people in higher ranked positions politically, corporate wise, to be able to help bring up other Blacks throughout the ladder. And I'm not, bro, and keep in mind, I'm not talking about a token nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not talking about somebody that was appointed there by a white person just so you can be this figurehead. You know what I mean? Just so you can be this mascot. No, I'm talking about somebody that truly has an agenda for black people. Are you saying somebody that truly has an agenda for black people, that's not afraid to go against the grain, that has a Donald Trump type approach, meaning I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do to carry out my goal and my mission and my task? Are you saying that if a black person's in a position like that with the type of mindset, they're not going to do anything for the black community?
But who is in a position of power like that is like that? You know what I'm saying? The only people I can think of is like Farrakhan, who has a position of influence but has a separatist model. You know what I'm saying? Like there's not like a person of color that's a strong staple that's within the system is like, I am pro-black and things like that. That's why Q was trying to work with either party to have that platinum plan that is a reparation package for, you know, people of color. But before I go on too much, Beasley, let me hear where you going with it, because
I mean, I feel like it's an interesting take for multiple reasons, though. Like, I feel like we can say we want penetration or change, but you point to Obama, you can point to Colin Powell, you can point to a lot of like people who have been in the White House, you know what I'm saying, who's been black or a person of color, whatever term you want to use, and we don't necessarily get what we want to get out of it. But it might be a weird take for some people, especially with the RBG on right now. But is that the role of a black leader who penetrates the system inherently? Because there's something, we might get into this later, about elevation that I think having a mass identity takes us away from like the growth process. So I'm gonna give you an example. Like a lady posted on Facebook yesterday, she was like, you never see white people criticizing their own in public. Only black people drag their own. And I objected to that idea because I was like, that's not true. When white people do it, we just call it politics. When we do it, we call it self-hate, we call it cooning, we call it Uncle Tom, we call it sellout. So when we criticize each other, we criticize ourselves for even criticizing people. White people every single day, Fox News, CNN are criticizing other white people, but they're not looking at success as a race. They're looking at individual. What do I get out of this? And I feel like
it's an individual effort, not a uniform.
When you're the dominant culture, you don't have to look at things as a unified front. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're the majority, what's the point of looking toward a unified front?
Right. When you're already ahead, like you have no need for a collective.
You don't need everybody else to get up there with you.
But that's
y'all as a collective already have it.
But this is the problem with that, like philosophy. When we adopt a different mindset and don't have a separate model to go by, because to win in this game, you have to think like an individual, and even a collective needs empowered individuals to actually make it happen. So when we want all black people to be unified, like, bro, that's going against human nature.
No. Okay. I get what you're saying. I think that's a very valid point. However, there's a unification that needs to happen on an individual level. So meaning like communities, you know what I'm saying? Like notice how the Jewish community moves as a unit, you know what I'm saying? Or like the Nigerian families come over here and move as a unit, you know what I'm saying? You can even say the Indian population come over here and move as a unit. So they have strategic places and plans in place in order to make sure that they're going to be financially self-sufficient for eons to go, for like their generation. So they are putting their kids and themselves through adequate training to get to the bag and own businesses and elevate together.
Let me object though, because I feel like it's still a very small percentage of people who actually do that. Like we see the successful Jewish families. We don't see the poor Jewish families. We see the successful Indian family. We don't see the poor Indian families. We see, you know what I'm saying? We see what's marketed. So the people who have success are going to have more of a leverage to be seen. I'm saying, I think it's against human nature to think like all black people can ever move forward on one front and do right and do what's best for the collective. Like there's no society that does that. Not white society, not Asian society, not Latin society. There's no group of people who all move on one accord and everyone is moving each other up. That's not how it works.
I agree, but I want to challenge you with this though, because I feel like there's a higher percentage of Black people being stagnant and not being as unified as it is with other races. So without looking at numbers, let's look at percentages. There's a less percentage of Black people unifying to develop our own communities than what it is the Jewish community, the Indian community, and the Iranian community, right? Even the white community. And it's because, though, we don't have a standard within our Black community. We have zero standards. Overall, we have zero standards. Our standard is get the bag and look good while you're doing it and be sexy going through the process. Well, you fucking your money off. That's all our standard is.
But that's individual, though. So
I think there's an elephant in the room that we're totally missing, that there's never been another race that's been as attacked as the Black community for eons, for years, for literally hundreds of years. You know what I'm saying? I'm not using it as a crutch, but that's certainly, there's reason to that. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why we were put in less than positions, disenfranchised positions, not given any type of reparations for this free work that we did to build the company. build this country.
You got it right.
So it's like,
you got it right.
It's the same thing. That's synonymous terms for sure. But it's like there are reasons and they've been in place. And like every time that there's a change to the structure that can benefit us, there's also 4 more changes on the back end. Labor laws, legal procedures, certain things, glass ceilings or whatever the case may be, they keep us in a disenfranchised state continuously. You know what I'm saying? So there's always going to be a relay.
So BZ, now we had a conversation. This was like a year ago. BZ, I know you know where I'm going with this. But a lot of us talk about the system and how it's set up against us, but a lot of us don't even give the system a chance to attack us because we're attacking us before the system even takes advantage of my skill sets and capabilities. Meaning, bro, there's always going to be some type of game plan. You're a former hooper, bro. You always going to have defense. But if your offense is not strong enough to overthrow the defense, you're going to continue to lose. Our offense has not been strong enough, nor have we been really putting ourselves in position to beat the defense.
Bro, it's like, okay, if we're using a sports analogy, that's like going against the Lakers with a JV squad from Normandy with no head coach and, no jerseys. And no
I disagree. I disagree because we have the talent, though. That's the thing. The JV squad don't have the talent. We have the talent, but we're not structured or organized. We don't have the chemistry. That's our fault.
We also don't, even with the talent, if you don't have the necessary resources or nourishment to nourish those talents, then it's for nothing. Like,
let me ask you this. What are the top 3 resources that we're missing right now?
Money. Generational wealth. That's literally the leg of how these people build.
But look. Okay, let's kind of like spin into this real quick. We all know, and it's kind of go back to Nick's point in the original point, like about education and about getting into the system, getting to corporate America. Like, there are certain things in society that pay you a certain amount of money. You want to be a doctor, you want to be a lawyer, you want to be an engineer. There are certain things that we know make money, right? We have to steer ourselves into those positions, which goes back to me is like, it's individual. I'm not going to be successful for Black people. I can't put that on my shoulder. Go ahead.
If I may interject just really quick.
Interject.
So no, you are a very smart young man. I feel like everybody on this podcast is of supreme intellect. Like, you brothers can hold a conversation and y'all are pretty knowledgeable about a myriad of things.
Yeah.
However, if you have the proper infrastructure, proper infrastructure and mentors to guide you in the right type of places. So BZ, in hindsight, graduate from Missouri State, getting the degree that you got, would you still get that same degree in hindsight, knowing what you were doing? Like, looking at the ROI, would it be a similar path as far as you maneuvering through college?
I'll probably still get the degree.
The degree that you got it in?
Yeah. If I didn't get that degree, then I wouldn't have I got a practical degree. I just didn't go down that career path. But everything I learned in that degree program kind of helped me.
What I'm saying is I'm not discrediting your degree by any means. But what I'm saying is that we know the degrees that hold weight as far as like financial fluency, making sure that you're financially stable for years, forever, honestly.
Yeah.
So in hindsight,
basically.
like we didn't have mentors though. You know, me and you used to talk about it all the time. We didn't have anyone telling us like, hey, this is where you should go. This gets you the least amount of loans or debt. And this is the one that's gonna have the maximum ROI as far as when you finish, you can pay back this amount in like the first year and the second, you know, and the next 30 years you're set for life. Like we didn't have adequate measures in place. And what I'm saying is just the other side, meaning whomever it is, has those resources, as Will was alluding to navigate in a better direction. So
I kind of want to put this question there too, because this is important. Because you said we'll be on the same path, knowing like what's profitable now. At what point do you say I want to go where my interests lie versus what the market is interested in? Like I could have went STEM. I had an A in every single math class I ever had. My math professor was actually like, you should be a math major. And I was like, I don't want to major in no fucking math. But she was like, you should go down this path. And I was like, nah, I'm in the media thing. It's like, at what point do y'all think you got to sacrifice what you maybe are passionate about for what's profitable?
Let's hold that for the next segment. Let's hold that for the next segment.
Yeah. We're going to hold that for part 2. So you know what? We're going to wrap up. Hey, Will, where can they find us at, bro?
Hey, y'all know
Tell them what to do right now.
Y'all go ahead and follow us at ATG Pod 3 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Oh, and don't forget, make sure y'all like and subscribe on the video. Leave some comments, suggestions. Let us know.
And we'll be back with another segment of Against the Grain.
We out.